In this video, I'm going to share with you scientific evidence that proves that the benefits of NoFap are real. Let's go! All addictions create the same four fundamental changes in the brain. These are sensitization, desensitization, dysfunctional prefrontal circuits, which is often referred to as hypofrontality, and a malfunctioning stress system. Sensitization is an exaggerated craving for an addictive substance that was triggered by a very small cue. For someone that's addicted to junk food, a pizza ad can trigger him so much that he immediately orders 2 large pepperoni pizzas. But for someone who takes care of himself, a pizza ad will not trigger him. In the same line, someone who is addicted to adult sites will be triggered by simply watching a girl on Instagram. Desensitization is basically tolerance to a pleasurable substance and thus needing higher quantities of it to get the same amount of pleasure as in the past. Someone who is addicted to alcohol will need to drink more and more as time goes by because every new drink will create tolerance in the brain. For someone who doesn't drink, a beer might be enough to make him feel drunk, but a drinker will need 6 beers to feel the same effect. Hypofrontality is a decline in the functioning of the frontal lobes of the brain. These parts are responsible for your capacity to control your emotions and behavior. In essence, they are the seat of your willpower. A smoker can't avoid smoking when he's triggered by the smallest cue. Someone who doesn't smoke can easily say no to smoking and control himself. Hypofrontality is the reason why people who consume adult content can't control themselves and end up relapsing again and again, even though they hate the feeling after every relapse. A malfunctioning stress system refers to an increase of fear-like states like anxiety and stress and a depression-like state by suppressing dopamine. These tend to manifest the strongest when adult content is removed, but they are also part of the everyday life of an addict. Just think about the anxiety of approaching a girl, it's insane. Or think about how boring listening to music seems when you compare it to binge watching adult content. So now let's talk about the scientific evidence that proves that consuming adult content will trigger all these 4 changes in the brain. I will post the pictures of the most crucial findings in these scientific studies so you can pause the video and read them at your own convenience. Evidence for sensitization. Evidence for desensitization. Evidence for hypofrontality. Evidence for dysregulated stress system in the brain. Now that you are aware of the science behind the 4 fundamental brain changes, we need to talk about neuroplasticity. See, your brain is a malleable organ, which means that it will change and adapt depending upon the stimuli it is subjected to. An easier way to understand this is by seeing what happens to the human body. If you forgo exercise and eat only junk food, you will gain weight and end up with an unattractive body that's full of fat. If you train at the gym 6 days per week, eat a low-carb diet, and take care of your grooming, you will end up with a super attractive body. And in both scenarios, if you stop stimulating your body in either way, you will end up with exactly the same body because it will naturally reshape itself to its baseline form. The same principle applies to the human brain. By doing NoFap, you will remove all the negative stimulation your brain has been subjected to. As a result, your brain will have time and the appropriate conditions to restore itself to its baseline form. This is referred to as a reboot, and it's the time when all the benefits of NoFap start to show up. These benefits are the natural result of your brain healing itself and going back to its default settings. Some people belittle the benefits of NoFap because they are things that should always be present in everyone's life, but they are not because of this addiction. But the thing is that if you've been consuming adult content for your entire life, it's totally fair to refer to the benefits of NoFap as something positive and real, because they are. Even though that's the way your brain should always function, if you've damaged your brain by consuming adult content, it's totally fair and good to feel proud about all the benefits of practicing NoFap. The bottom line is that the benefits of NoFap are 100% real because there's enough scientific evidence to prove that consuming adult content will ruin your brain in all the ways that every other addiction does. And by removing that addiction, you will experiment how your brain heals and thus all the benefits that come with that healing. By the way, I've partnered with Josh Hudson from the YouTube channel Pinnacle of Man, who is a licensed therapist specialized in adult content addiction, and I want to invite you to his free webinar. In this free webinar, you will learn how to get rid of your urges, you will learn the sexual transmutation exercise that will increase your energy and focus 300%, and just by attending for free, you will get access to his urge control method and his step-by-step quit adult content checklist. Sounds amazing, right? So just click the link in the description and sign up for the free webinar right now.